Hey, whoa! We're just talking about you. We are here at Point Dume in California, and man, this is beautiful. We're perched high above the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean, which, by the way, makes it a great vantage point to watch gray whales migrating down to Baja. Yeah, it's that time of the year. It's also that time of the year to watch college kids swimming down to Cabo. If we're lucky, we will not get blown off of these incredible, dangerous cliffs. All right, let's do this, man. Grab your helmet, grab your life insurance policy, and why don't we go take a hike? When people ask me who my favorite comedians are, well, hands down, my wingman today is probably in my top 15 choices. That's not really true. Actually, he's one of the best comedians out there for my money, and that includes a 2-drink minimum. Yeah, I mean, this guy, he tours all around the country, playing huge venues. His stand-up is laugh out loud, usually sold out. And if that's not enough, he's a regular on the Amazon Prime series called Laudermilk. All right, without further ado, guys, it's the very funny, the hilarious Brian Regan. So, Brian, you're not much of a beach guy, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not much of an anything guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Try to keep up, Brian. Try to keep up.
You go too fast.
Save your strength, though. We got a lot of hills around here.
I don't know if I should wait till I get up next to you.
That's okay.
You want me to walk behind you the entire time and just tell stories
Yeah.
over your shoulder?
Why not?
Okay. Man, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at walking and talking.
Well, how often you walk and talk?
The only time I walk and talk is when I'm doing my act. And then when I say goodnight, I get in a lazy boy and just kind of stay there until the next show.
Right. I like that, man. That's my style. Ready to head back? Gotta get a picture up here.
Yeah.
Let's get a picture. Why do people point to each other when you take a picture? Like, this is who I'm taking a picture with? Not this guy, this guy.
I'm getting a picture with this guy next to me.
This guy doesn't belong in the
The
picture.
one in the frame.
You ever go hang gliding?
I have not gone hang gliding.
Well, you're gonna see what it's like in a few minutes. You're gonna love it. Oh, I was shy in high school. I know a lot of comics say that, but some of them don't. They say, oh, I was a class clown.
I always say, I was my small circle of friends clown.
Yeah.
Like, the class in general didn't know me, but my small group knew me and thought I was funny.
Yeah.
But people who didn't sit with us at lunch knew nothing about me. They're like shocked that I do stand-up.
What's the worst job you ever had?
A friend of mine's dad had a restaurant in Miami.
Yeah?
The restaurant had a basement that got flooded. There was a bunch of like bank documents and stuff, these little bank books.
Yeah.
So they asked us to, me and my buddies, to clear it out, clean it out. And we would go down there. We had shovels. All these bank documents were wet. It was hot. You'd stick the shovel in these bank documents, and every time you did that, about 20 to 30 roaches would scurry. The place was just infested with roaches.
How long did that job last?
One day. One day.
This is actually where I come twice a year to do whale watching. And you can see the whales right off the cliff here. You have to catch them when they're migrating and then coming back. But it's pretty spectacular. They're like right by the rocks here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they might even be here today.
I might be the only guy or the only human on Earth that has no interest in seeing a whale.
Why is that?
If I was on a boat and they said, Brian, if you turn your head to the left, you can see a whale, I still wouldn't turn my head.
You have a fear of heights?
Yes, I do.
I do too, man. It's just really bad. It's just really scary. Can I get a picture of you?
Sure.
Just hanging off the side of the cliff there. Just grab onto the edge.
Just with my hands?
Yeah.
Just my knuckles?
Brian, there's a whale. Come and see it. Right down there. They're coming close. Come and see it. It's right down here. Turn your head downwards. Brian. Here. Woo. Man, look out. Is that seagull crap? I mean, can sea lions climb up that high?
So I skydived
No.
to take on the fear.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you do tandem jump?
Tandem master strapped to my back. I wanted to free fall. So your options were you either jump out with a static line or something and your chute will open quickly, or they don't trust you to not freak out, so you have to have a tandem master strapped to your back. I've lost touch with my tandem master over the years, but so he's strapped to my back. We jump out together. That way you can free fall, and we free fell for like 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. I don't know, but it was a long time. I had two things happen.
Yeah.
So when the chute first opened, I don't know how fast you're going, but you go from that to zero almost instantaneously.
It's a big jerk.
Yeah, and my neck like did this weird thing. Like I felt like I messed up my neck.
Like a whiplash kind of thing?
Well, it goes forward, like, yeah. You know, when the chute opens, your head's still going, but your body stops.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
that hurt the whole way down. And I'm wondering if it was permanent. And then when we landed, you're supposed to do a slide. And I hit my tailbone and thought I broke my tailbone.
Oh, man.
So,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
so when I was getting up, the guy who was with me said, "What do you think?" And you know, I didn't want to like rain on his parade, but I thought I had permanently damaged my neck and my tailbone.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thrilled.
Yeah. People always ask me, who's your favorite comedian? And right away, I don't even think. I go, Brian Regan. And they go, oh yeah, me too, I like him.
It's really, really nice to hear, man.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
true, and a lot of people feel that way. With your style, who kind of molded that? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, a lot of different people. There's one name that this might sound obscure. His name was John Fox, a comedian. He passed away a few years
John
ago.
Fox.
You know John Fox?
Yeah, I know him from way back. He was a partier, man.
He partied like crazy. He could take over when he got on stage. He was a very strong presence on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
But he could just command a room, and I remember really enjoying watching how he did that. And after a show one time, he took me aside and he said, earn your sips. And I said, what? He goes, you tell a joke, sometimes it doesn't get a laugh, and you go over to your bottle of beer and you take a sip during complete silence. He goes, it's torture to watch. He goes, you gotta wait until you get a laugh and then you sip while they're laughing. I said, earn your sips. And I never forgot that.
See, I'm getting down on this now. I'm terrified. I'm so scared right now. Woo!
Be careful, Kevin.
I got it, buddy. Just stay behind me. Grab me if I fall. Man, I do not like heights. Careful, careful here now.
Yeah.
I think I have more of a fear of heights than you. Brian, are you there?
I'm here. I
Oh.
can't hear you.
You scared me, man. I didn't hear you, and I thought maybe you fell.
No, I'm good. I was going very slow and carefully. I always say I have 3 goals as a stand-up.
Yeah.
The individual jokes. I know you don't like that word.
I don't mind it, but as a stand-up, I think it kind of gives away. I know they know it's a joke,
Oh, I see what you're
but
saying.
you know, you're kind of relaying it like you didn't make this up. This is happening now.
Right.
Because
No,
when I
that's a good
first
point.
went to a comedy club, Catch a Rising Star in New York, I was blown away how funny these guys were. And I came back again, and they were doing the exact same act. And I thought, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Well, the club where I started, I remember a guy who was not auditioning. He was a professional.
Yeah.
Professional joke teller. He had these props. He had these big ears he put on. One of them fell off, and he did a little Van Gogh ad lib. And everybody laughed, and I was like, wow, that was quick and clever.
Yeah.
I go the next Monday to the next open mic night, and oddly, the ear fell off at the exact same time. And he did the same Van Gogh reference, and I felt like I was kicked in the gut.
Oh man, that's disappointing.
I was like, wait a second.
That is disappointing.
I was enjoying that on an ad lib level.
Woo.
So now when I get on stage, I say, I will not be ad-libbing anything. Everything you're gonna hear is memorized.
Yeah.
This is a memorized show.
Yeah.
And enjoy it as such, or don't enjoy it.
Right. Anything you see that looks like improv, no.
Even if I take a sip of water and I spill a little and I make a joke, that's pre-planned. People come up after a show and ask if you just made everything up while you were up there for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess in a way, a huge compliment, but it's also like, it's so bizarre to me that somebody could think that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you think I'm just winging that for an hour?
Well, you're right, I am.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the top and see what's going on.
Let's do it, man.
You seem like the kind of guy to me that you don't really hang out with a lot of comics. You kind of have your own thing going on. You live in Vegas. You got a great career doing tons of theaters and, you know, whatever. Is that true?
When I'm at home, I like to take off the whole comedy thing, and in fact, I'm amazed at how unfunny I am, how unfunny I'm capable of being. But I think, well, I can get on stage and get something going.
Yeah.
But if I'm hanging around with people who don't know what I do and stuff like that, I can be real flatline. First goal is the individual joke.
Right.
Second goal is a 5-minute spot, you know, for like a Fallon or Letterman or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm still working on Letterman's sets, even though I'm very dedicated to the show. So there's the 5-minute goal, and then there's the hour goal.
Yeah.
So all of those goals are happening simultaneously.
Do you ever meditate? You ever just sit out and look at the water and think?
I've tried. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I've tried, but I keep shortening the amount of time that I dedicate to it. So I'm down to 5 minutes, and I don't even do that daily. I do like 5 minutes a month. The last time I meditated is when I skydived. I was in the middle of free falling, hurtling towards the earth, and I asked the tandem master, I said, do I have time to meditate? And he said, well, not really, because we're going hundreds of miles an hour towards the earth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I only did like a short meditation session.
Yeah, I will never do that in my life.
Yeah, what if somebody said, I'll give you $100 million if you skydive?
100 million, yeah. But I'd be all kind of like, you know, I'd be on all kinds of sedatives. And I'd have to be on the top.
They'd have to roll. I'd have to roll you out of the plane.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would count.
Yeah.
If I'm going to offer you the 100 million, I'm going to say you can't be on sedatives. That would be one of the requirements.
You like magic, Brian?
Sure. Yeah, I like close-up magic, especially.
How close you get? Does that like annoy them when you get that close?
I like when my optometrist does close-up magic, and he's like literally on the other side of that little eye machine thing. He goes, now you see it, now you don't. And I'm like, damn, how did you do that?
I always wonder, how do comics decide on their clothes for a special?
My girlfriend helped me with my clothing. So I went to a higher power.
Oh, you did? Okay.
She's better at that stuff than I am.
When you're in a dressing room, like trying on clothes, do you ever like see your back in the mirror when they have those mirrors going around and go, oh my God, I've never seen my back before. And it looks horrible. Who is that? Or is that just me?
No, it happened to me one time, not in a dressing room, but in a health club. I was on a treadmill and they had mirrors all around the place. And I was looking at this guy, like running so slowly, I was laughing. And then I realized it was me, like the way the mirrors were all set up. And I'm like, does that guy think he's running?
Thank you, Brian Regan. Wow, wow, wow. What a hike, man. The scenery, am I right? I gotta be honest with you, I kind of felt like his tandem master on this hike. I had his back. But then when we got to that scary part of the cliff, I had to abandon him. I had to watch out for myself, you know that. Yourself comes first. Thanks for joining my hike. Please subscribe, turn on notifications. Hope to see you again soon. Happy trails.